He's
very loving.
got the biggest heart that I know. He would give anybody his last dollar if they needed it more than he did. Trevon's a goofball. He's very funny. He's a big family man. He loves kids. Kids love him.
We just want our son and brother back.
This is any family's scariest nightmare.
That was the sister and mother of missing person Trevon Perry. Trevon is also a father himself. Local media has been doing a pretty good job keeping the public up to date on this case, but there hasn't been much for national exposure. He's been missing for over 2 months at this point, and we really need to try to bring this family some answers. So today, we're going to turn on the searchlight for Trevon Perry. Welcome to another episode of BrainScratch Searchlight. I'm John Lorden. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And this is Trevon Perry, missing for over 2 months at this point. There's not a lot of details available about this case, but I have been in contact with some people that are closer to it, and we're going to share some other information. A very strong possibility in terms of what may be going on with this. But let's go through the available information first, starting at Wikipedia to learn about where this is going down. Paso Robles is a city in San Luis Obispo County, California, United States. Located on the Salinas River north of San Luis Obispo, California, the city is known for its hot springs, its abundance of wineries, its production of olive oil, almond orchards, and for playing host to the California Mid-State Fair. In terms of population, we're looking at just under 30,000 as of the 2010 census. I've actually been in this area before, and just seeing some more photos of it reminded me this is a pretty beautiful part of California, and they do have some amazing wineries and things that you would do in this area. But unfortunately, we have a family that's living there in a lot of pain right now, and we want to see if we can help them. The first thing, as usual, I went to NAMUS, and unfortunately, do not see a profile created for Trevon. So I've been in contact with some of his family. I'm trying to get the information together to put the entry in myself, and I will be working on that with them. It'll probably actually already be entered by the time that you guys see this video. Jumping over to Facebook, the Paso Robles Police Department have put out a post on this, and when they put out their post, they were also very responsive and kind of just asking the public, please spread the word on this. Please spread the word on this. They've been pretty engaged here on the Facebook page with this case. But March 18th is when they posted this. Have you seen Trevon Perry? On the evening of March 16th, 2020, a friend of Trevon Perry called PRPD to report him missing. He was last seen in the area of Poppy Lane in the early morning hours of March 15th, 2020, after leaving a friend's house. Perry's family and friends have not been able to contact him since. At this time, it appears Perry's cell phone is off. Trevon Perry is a light-skinned 27-year-old African-American male, about 5 foot 9 inches tall with a medium build, last seen wearing a black NBA sweatshirt, black skinny jeans, black shoes, and black Adidas hat. I think there's some better detail in terms of the shoes. He's wearing Vans, and the hat seems to change. There's some other information we're going to get on that where it might actually be a blue LA hat. Perry has numerous tattoos on both arms. If anybody knows Perry's whereabouts, of course, they have the contact information, and of course, I have that in the description box below, as well as a number that you can call that's on the screen while we're looking at this stuff. Now, some reports have been saying that he also wears this necklace, the St. Christopher necklace. But I'm seeing some reports from people close to him that are saying he actually didn't have it. He usually takes it off when he's sleeping, and they found it at home. So unfortunately, this might not be a good indicator for trying to find him. Over at PasoRoblesDailyNews.com, we get a little more info. Perry's sister, Carissa Esquivel, said he was last seen leaving out of a backyard on foot in the area of Poppy Lane, headed down an alley that leads straight to Lynn Road. So let's go ahead and pull up the map and take a look here. I've seen some reports saying it's in the 1600 block of Poppy Lane, and that's what we have marked right here. Now, it's interesting that she's talking about there being an alley because on one side of Poppy Lane, it's just open fields, and there isn't really any alleys that you would engage directly between Poppy Lane and Lynn Road. But there is this other Poppy Lane that is kind of on the interior here, and I'm not really seeing what I would consider an alley. These houses, I'm pretty sure, are right up next to each other. I don't know if there might be a walkway that's kind of around one of those, or if she means that he just jumped out of a backyard on this side and went on Poppy Lane. But there is an alley in this area, and considering this is still Poppy Lane, I have a feeling the house is over here, and the backyard he jumped out of is one of these homes, and then possibly into this alley where he headed towards Lynn Road. You would see, even if he did go through this alley, it doesn't give him a direct path to Lynn. He would still have to come down Turtle Creek and get out to what looks like Airport Road. Continuing with another article, and I just want to give a big thank you to Paso Robles Daily News for so much coverage on this case. Without them, I don't think I'd be able to even cover this case. This update is from March 22nd. Family offers $1,000 for information. At this point, we still have not found any signs that point to Trevon's whereabouts, police said. On Thursday, Perry's family searched the Salinas riverbed for clues or tips leading to his location, but were unable to come up with any results. Perry's sister, Carissa, said, Trevon is still missing at this time. There is no new information on where he is or what may have happened. We're now offering a $1,000 reward to anyone with helpful information that will lead us and investigators to Trevon, she said. The detectives are doing their jobs very well, but we understand that it is an ongoing investigation. Another thing that just sprung to mind, he does also go by Trey as a nickname. Another update over at Paso Robles Daily News. This one pretty interesting. We can see the title is Police Search for Missing Paso Robles Man at Dry Creek Apartments. And this is posted on March 30th. The search continues. Late Sunday night, the Paso Robles Police Department and San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's detectives followed up on tips to look for him at the Dry Creek apartment complex in Paso Robles, but were unable to find him. Let's just jump over to the map real quick so we can take a look at this together. And I've turned on the walking option for Google Maps. Poppy Lane is here. It has him dropping down, but the way that we're hearing these details, it sounds like he went out into that alley and then possibly went north. But one way or another, if he did walk in this direction, he probably got to Airport Road and then would have cut back or possibly stayed on Turtle Creek and taken that around. But it's over 1.5 miles away to the Dry Creek apartments that you can see over here. So very curious about what that tip is, very curious about what they're looking for in their search, but there's more detail. Authorities were investigating the disappearance of Perry and collecting evidence. 2 police vehicles, a truck, and SUV left the scene with evidence collected. And here we actually have a photo, and those are some pretty big bags. I'm assuming those are evidence collection bags that they're working with there. Perry, a former Paso Robles high school student, was last seen wearing a black NBA sweatshirt, black skinny jeans, black low-top Van shoes, and a blue LA hat. So there, the description changed just a little bit. I'm just going to give it to you guys both ways so I can share with you all the information that we can about this case. Thank you to another update from Paso Robles Daily News. April 4th at 3:35 a.m. Saturday morning, Paso Robles Emergency Services responded to the 500 block of 2nd Street for a report of a man down in front of a house. When residents in the area heard what sounded like gunshots, they went outside and found a man down on the ground on the walkway between the home and the sidewalk. The victim had a gunshot wound to the upper left shoulder. He was transported to Sierra Vista Medical Center. Now, I know you guys are probably saying, John, it sounds like you've just started a new case. What is this about? There is a connection here between these two instances. Police went door to door in the neighborhood early Sunday morning asking residents for doorbell video footage of the scene. Local residents on the scene said the victim was shot at the home of Trevon Perry and was a friend of his. Perry is a local man who went missing last month. Police and his family are seeking information on his disappearance. Now, There's not a lot of information that's available about this case. I have no idea about what Trevon's lifestyle is like, what type of elements he could be mixing with. But hearing that a friend of his is shot at his home just makes me wonder if we've got, I don't know, some type of nefarious circle, let's just say. And with other information that I've kind of heard about what might be going on with this case, there might be a chance of it. Could this shooting actually be connected in some way to Trevon's disappearance? That's something that I really just kind of can't shake. But let's continue with another article over at ksby.com. This article was posted May 1st. It's been nearly 7 weeks since a Paso Robles man went missing without a trace. The Paso Robles Police Department said they've been following up on a number of leads since the 27-year-old was reported missing. I'd say that's certainly true. We have them taking evidence from one particular scene. I've also seen footage from a commander there that says with cooperation with the California Highway Patrol that they have been in helicopters looking for him. I find that kind of interesting just because when you think of a scene like this, I mean, it kind of looks like a neighborhood to me. How helpful would a helicopter search be? But if we go ahead and look at the map again, kick on the satellite view, you can see we've got just these giant fields all around this, literally some crop fields around this as well, a lot of open land. If we pull back on it a lot here, you can see that, I mean, he was basically hanging out in a neighborhood that is just right at the edge of where the neighborhood stops, and then you are off into wilderness, pretty significant wilderness from there. So I do think that it makes sense for a helicopter search. Let's get back to the details here at KSBY. Missing person signs are posted on telephone poles and store windows in Paso Robles and neighboring cities. His mom and sister say this is the longest they've ever gone without talking to him. He hangs out at the house. His friends hang out at the house, and he won't go a day without showering, explained his sister. He won't go a day without calling mom, added his mother, Shannon Scott. He's also a dad to a 4-year-old son named D'Angelo who lives in East Texas with his mom. The family says the last time they talked to Trevon, everything was fine. Obviously, it's very concerning when someone has been missing for as long as Trevon is, Commander Lamp said. The case has not been upgraded in status. It is currently a missing persons case. This is any family's scariest nightmare, Esquivel said. I don't wake up from it. I keep hoping I will, said his mother. So I'm kind of curious about the status of this case. I understand that it should be a missing persons case, but now we're looking at it 2 months after the fact. We know he had a cell phone on him. It seems like that hasn't been turned on. I don't know. We're not getting the facts about have they been looking at accounts of his? Has anyone been using funds of his? Did he have an ATM card? Was that used somewhere? We're just not getting that level of detail, so we can't push too much in that direction. But what I can tell you is, according to people that I've spoken to, Trevon actually witnessed a stabbing, and the man wound up dying. The guy that stabbed that man is being held. He's being detained, and charges have been put towards him, and he's basically waiting on going to trial. The information I'm hearing is that Trevon was going to be a witness for that trial. So if that's the type of situation we're talking about, once again, it makes me concerned that there is some other element to this case that is not being considered. When you combine that with the fact that we had Trevon's friend be shot in front of Trevon's house, it really makes me think that there's something else going on there. So I would love for law enforcement to actually push this, upgrade the status of this case. This seems like a high-risk case to me, especially if they can confirm the information about the charges and about Trevon's participation in what would have been the court trial. I'm curious if he even gave a deposition. Is there videotape of whatever his observations were? So maybe that can still be entered in terms of that case. But it's a pretty scary situation. And then, of course, if that is what we're looking at here, we've got his family that is living in that area, and it really concerns me on a lot of fronts. So I'm hopeful that law enforcement is going to kind of switch gears on this case and it looks like they already made one pretty big move in terms of investigation here. Hopefully, some analysis from what they gathered in that initial step will help lead them to taking more steps, stronger steps, and possibly changing the status of this case. I sincerely hope they don't have to. I hope that we are looking at a straight up missing persons case. He wanted to take some time away, didn't tell anyone about it, and just decided to go off. It doesn't feel like that. The information that I'm seeing here online combined with the information that I'm having with people in conversations doesn't seem to support it. A lot of people are very worried about what the outcome of this case is going to be. And I'm sure law enforcement is absolutely in that bucket with them. But one other aspect to this case, there is a GoFundMe that has been started. They are attempting to raise $10,000. They have raised $2,650 so far. They say that they're doing this to try to hire a private investigator. You know, they've got the helicopter search. They're even considering the possibility of funeral funds. So it's terrible what these families go through when they're faced with having a missing loved one like that, and that you have to be open to all those possibilities and considerations. But we want to be there for people like that. So on behalf of myself and my amazing supporters through PayPal, Patreon, and merchandise on the channel, we're going to be making a donation to this GoFundMe just as soon as I'm done filming today. I'll have a link to it down below. If you are moved to do so, please consider making a donation to it as well. Let's try to support this family with their efforts. I really feel for them. There's so many tough outcomes when you're looking at a situation that has these details. And in terms of positive outcomes in a situation like this, I mean, even if they find him, is there something seriously wrong? Is there something going on at a mental level, at a substance abuse level? There's all kinds of really not the best things that could be going on in a case like this. My heart goes out to his sister, his mother, his family members, his friends. I truly hope that law enforcement will be there for them, help them through this. And if justice does need to be served in this case, I really hope that they're able to do that and that we're able to see some charges happen here. But most importantly, I really want Trevon to come home. And that's where you can help. Please share this video with any friends or family that you have living around the Paso Robles area. Actually, you can even go wider than that. Go through California. We have no idea if this is a situation where it seems like there are some bad actors that are working with each other. We have no idea how big those circles are. We have no idea how big those circles of friends are, which is more important. I think there's a really good chance that if something like this, if he was quieted specifically because he was going to be a witness in a trial, I really think there's a strong chance that someone is talking about that. And if someone is talking about that, the person that's hearing it, I hope that you can find it within your heart to do the right thing. Use the contact information down below, give that information to law enforcement, and help them bring justice for this family. There is also a way where you can give information anonymously using Crime Stoppers. You don't have to put your name out there if you don't want to. I know that we're talking about elements where you might not want your name attached with a tip that goes in on this. Crime Stoppers is a perfect way to do that, and you'll still be eligible for the reward. They basically give you a number. You wait until this case gets solved. You call them back, tell them that code, and they'll say, yep, yours is the tip that did it. Let's get you paid. So please consider using Crime Stoppers if you're worried about calling in a tip on this. All my best to Trevon's family and friends. Also, just a few quick updates before we end the episode. I put out a call for help in terms of what we're calling community managers, people that are going to help us monitor the comments, make sure that if family members are leaving messages in there that I'm hearing about it, or if there's other critical information that needs to be sent to appropriate channels, that we're able to do all that. I was so moved that we had so many people apply. Over 40 people wound up applying for that. And unfortunately, we were only looking for what would turn out to be 5 people to be community managers. So it just really it really warmed my heart to know that there were so many people willing to donate their time. It's not a paid position. They just wanted to be part of the community and help in a little bit more of a way than sharing the videos or just sharing on social media. And I really appreciate every person that went and filled out that form. Now, with the community managers, we are going to give them the option to basically roll out every 6 months. Keeping tabs on these cases. They're going to be kind of like mini experts on cases. And quite honestly, I don't know what the burnout factor is going to be like. So we might reopen and look for more people in another 6 months. So if you didn't get in this time, sit tight. We're going to open that gate back up probably in another 6 months, look for some more people and keep working that system. I think it's too important. We need to do everything we can to help these cases. One of those community managers is Amber, and Amber has a special little someone who is a big fan of Lord and Arts and Stephanie Harlow. So I just wanted to say hello to Haley. Hope you have a great day, Haley. Also, a very big thank you to new patron Alicia Bogues. Really appreciate you, Alicia. If you'd like to support the channel, please visit www.lordandarts.com. There you can sign up for PayPal, sign up for Patreon, or buy merchandise. All of it helps keep me here doing what I love doing, helping families in these very, very tough positions. Take care, everyone. I'll see you back here on Friday with a very special episode of BrainScratch. I'm very proud to be working in collaboration with a company that, for true crime, we all know them. So I hope you'll come back on Friday and check out a very special episode of BrainScratch. Have a great day. See you here on the Lord and Arts channel.